Jiggy from to bouillon, soup ten riannement, calypso not dead. Look she raise she head. What else can I say? Moi me fait côtoyer. Wabi oh 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 calypso. Wabi oh 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 calypso oh oh oh. Calypso shall never die.
Well, a very special good evening, Carlos. I suspect we are here for a particular mission. Nice to see you as always.
Good evening, Brother Bruno.
Good evening. Looking forward to the exchanges with you as always.
Well, normally it's politics we're talking, but we are a different topic now. Let's go right into it. As you can see from the background that our team set up. You see the nice little Trendsetter Lavéyé background. We're setting up to talk about this big song that was written by you and performed by the artist Narin Trendsetter Murphy.
Yeah, and I'm happy to be here, mainly because of conversations that seem to have surrounded the song, especially when my brother and friend Narin would constantly refer to me. And because of the interest and the intrigue around the song and the mysticism as well, I just felt it best to come on and spend a few moments to talk about the song, the idea of the song. There's some people who probably do not have the knowledge, Carlos, of the Lavéyé. And so just to share a little bit of the tradition, so to speak, and hoping after this program, some people will be more knowledgeable. One of the interesting things about education, Carlos, is as an educator, you've got to be tolerant, you've got to be patient, because different people learn in different ways. And when you don't have the facts and you don't have the information and the material, it's very hard to decipher. And I would imagine because Lavéyé is such a unique cultural concept, it is only right that I share the knowledge with those people who don't have the knowledge. I know Narin will join us. I think he's standing by to come in a little while, but I just wanted to set the tone to our conversation, Carlos, and that you will moderate whatever question you have, because I know you are one of those people too who may not have understood the Lavéyé concept too very well. And there are people who have exceeded me in age who also did not know it. So tonight is just to kind of touch on a few little areas, the tradition of the Lavéyé and Calypso, talk a little bit about the song, the idea behind the song, probably have Narin on as well to give his own experiences. And we hope that after our program, the public will be a bit more knowledgeable on this entire concept of Lavéyé, what it actually meant and what it means today. So that's, in a nutshell, what we're going to be talking about, Carlos.
Let me just say a special good night to all the viewers who are locked on. That is another special program of Mr. Bruno, and I'm just happy to be the moderator of this program. And Alex, you mentioned Trendsetter there, and I think he's roaring and ready to go. You know, it might not be wise to leave the young man waiting too long, but let us get right into it. While there, let me say a special good night to Mr. Narin Trendsetter Murphy, the reigning Calypso king on the which side, Alex?
No. The reigning Calypso road match monarch.
Sorry, that's
not king, monarch.
On the road match side. That's what I want. I want to make sure.
You might let people think he's trying to claim crown as
no.
You say road match before, road match monarch.
He didn't beat my sister last year. He didn't beat my sister last year. And I heard she has a big release there. She coming out strong this year. She looked like she ready to defend.
She has to be, eh? She must be ready to defend because she's the reigning monarch. You're talking about Joy?
Yes. But tonight we're not there about that. We're there about the Lavéyé.
Yeah. So you're the moderator. Go ahead and set the tone to the program.
Tell us how the idea came out. How did the idea of the Lavéyé song came out? I know Narin, you and Narin are quite close, and you'll bounce ideas off each other when it time. And of course you write for him. You have been writing for him for a while.
Yeah. Well, a lot of Darren is just a dream to work with. His organization, his enthusiasm, his organization, his zeal, his attention to detail, and his structure. So it's really cool working with Darren. He takes his work very seriously, very, very strong work acumen. And I have observed him over the years and have figured out what kind of songs he likes. Darren is in African culture, you call him a jokester, but that is a very serious title. It is not, it's like a comedian, but a comedian also is a very major and influential person. But even if he's a jokester, he's also very serious. Jokesters are very serious people. So he's somebody who's unassuming. And people think, well, it's all about V Black for Naren, but Naren is a very organized person and he likes satire. So I felt it best to give him a serious piece of satire this year called Lavéyé. And the idea came from me because of my experiences that I had growing up with my grandmother, Mamu Manips, of blessed memory, may she rest in peace. So as a little boy, Carlos, she would bring me with her, wrap me up in her little blanket to take me to places where they had Lavéyé. Because Lavéyé actually is a prayer or a wake for people who have died.
Hold on, before you go into that, you still remember when Granny wrapped in a blanket now?
Yeah, man.
I sure that that Fort Crossnar in mind. And before
remember,
you do, I want Narin to just give his opening remarks before we go too deep into the deep in the matter.
Well, good evening, Mr. Charles, and of course, my profound writer, Mr. Alexander Powell Bruno. It's a pleasure to be here, and I said I had to be here tonight. I told Alex I was on my way, and that program will not start without me. So I'm very happy to be here from the start of the program. I'm actually here with my little candle. You can see I've got my little candle light up, and the other thing I have, you see this little white cup there? It says wifey. That's a cup my wife had in America. And she told me, Naren, when you're going down with that cup. Because the only thing you put in your mouth on is on me. So go down with that cup. It's saying wifey, every time you drink, is me you're drinking. So right now I'm having a little diluted coffee. I think back in the days, Alex, they would probably call that a Mac coffee.
Yes.
So I am in full Lavéyé mode. Full Lavéyé mode. And I mean, as the program go on, I will actually let you know my likes and even my dislike for Lavéyé, if I am permitted the opportunity to discuss that.
But of course, why not?
Of course.
All right. By all means, but we can let Alex go more into the meat of the matter. You can start with the swaddling clothes they had him in.
So yeah, the idea came from me. I sold it to Naren. He bought it. He had a lot of questions. We had a lot of sessions to discuss all the different variables. And then when he was satisfied, he said, okay, I think we can go to Peter. We can start the music. We can start the process. So the writing of this song was a process. Every verse, every line, Naren always have a question. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? Explain that. That too long. Change that. That's why I tell you he's a stickler for detail and he's a fellow who knows what he wants. So I really like working with him because of that. So the idea came from me. It came because when I was a little boy, I remember everything I was taught. everything I learned at school, I do not forget one word of everything that I learned from preschool to university. Everything I've learned and haven't forgotten. I learned the definition for corals when I was in, I guess, grade school, Miss James. Corals are tiny carnivorous animals which extract the calcium carbonate from the surrounding seawaters to make protective shells for themselves. As an 8 or 9-year-old boy, I remember I learned that at school. I never forget that. Every word I was taught, Carlos, there's something about me. And the people who have done me bad too, I remember them. People who slapped me and calote me and abused me, I remember everywhere. I've never forgotten a thing. And you can test me with the name of my teacher, what they taught me, the books I use, who called me ugly, everything, Carlos. So the Lavéyé, I remember my grandmother taking me to Lavéyé with her. I was a young boy. It's over 50 years ago. I remember as a little boy, my grandmother was taking me when the people died. In fact, I was born on the same day Mayayam died. And my grandmother was at a Lavéyé when they sent and called her, tell her, very sick child. So my mother was in labor, but my grandmother was singing in Mayayam Lavéyé. So that is so much so how I'm into that Lavéyé culture. And my grandmother, when she brought us to the Lavéyé, as Narin said a while ago, we used to drink the Mac Cafe or sometimes a bush tea. And they would drink the real coffee and the Wabio, the white rum, mainly. Bush rum was not a big thing during Lavéyé. The white rum, that was the thing. So I used to see them drinking and singing and dancing. And that thing stuck with me. And the songs that Narin is singing in his chorus is 2 Lavéyé songs put in one. I learned that when I was a kid. And I grew up learning it until Lavéyé ceased and desist in Dominica, in my village. Although when my grandmother died, we gave her Lavéyé as well. So that is where the idea came from for this song. Because Lavéyé is a traditional cultural pastime. And Calypso is our cultural traditional music. So we kind of use the Calypso to bring back the Lavéyé to life. And that is the genesis of the Lavéyé song. I hope I was very clear about that in terms of the concept of the song. Now, Lavéyé means, well, it doesn't really mean anything directly in terms of definition, but it's a practice of making merry and waking the spirit of the dead. And that's an African tradition where if somebody died today, they bury them tomorrow. And the first night of the death, they start singing and chanting to escape the spirit of the person who has died. And it is so mystic that the person would be in the room on the bed with a cotton in their nose and their mouth. Sometimes they tie their mouchoir with a cloth so that I guess the mouth would not open up or whatever the case, whatever the reason was. And they would decorate the bed with flowers and purple cloth and the room. And then there was a window that would be left open for the spirit to escape. Candles would be lit, and every now and then people would be sitting around the bed, and the singing and chanting would be outside, and the more solemn moment would be around the bed. I can see it as we speak today. So that is what Narin is doing. He's reintroducing the cultural pastime called the Lavéyé. And yes, it was a tradition that when people died, you create 9 nights of celebration around the death. We will get to why this song is talking about Calypso and Lavéyé. And
I was coming to that.
Yeah, some people have some issues about that, but we will get into that in a little while. So, Carlos, did I satisfy you with the reason and the genesis of the song?
Yes, I think I got it clear. Well, you mentioned something there in your comments about you married 2 songs. Yes. As part of the song, 2 Lavéyé song. You can remember that, man? I can remember
yes.
that, man.
Yeah, so one is Metamola and one is Jouimo. Okay. So those 2 songs were the most popular songs I remember in my days. Now, there might have been other songs. So it was the so my grandmother was the chatouelle, and the weapon they would respond to her. My grandmother had a voice to sing. She, of course, was a person who was very strong on our ABU. She used to bat. And in current time, they would have called her an alcoholic because she would get drunk almost a very few times. But she was the one leading the singing, and she got that from her mother, I think, or from her auntie. And I think Auntie Tavi passed that down to her, and she took that up. I'm not too sure who she passed it on to, because since Mamu, I know Mary Diff doing her little thing, Mary Diff from Kalishi, but the Lavéyé thing kind of a die out. But Mamu now, she would sing Metamola, Metamola, oh. So the call was Metamola, Metamola, and the response, everybody, oh. So, and they would sing that song, not throughout the night, but at a point in time when the wake is getting cold and they need a coffee or a ginger or a rum to warm them up. So
show for chest.
yeah, they would say, Metamola, passe warm la, oh, Metamola, passe warm. So then the rum bottle would come. Sometimes it comes in a decanter, and fellas happy again, fellas singing. So when they needed solvent and food, anything they wanted, they would call the Met. And in Creole, the Met of the dead is the master, the person who is in charge of the dead. So they would call Metamola. So that's one of the songs. The other song was Jouimo. Joula Alex Mola, nuke bayan belveye, Jouimo. That was the response. And in Creole, that means the day Alex dies, we will give him a good Lavéyé. The day he died. Jouimo, Jouimo. So anything the Chatwell sing, everybody saying Jouimo, and they would make sometimes fun of the person in a nice light way. Look at Madame Lee, we will take his wife, we will take his car, we will marry him well, we'll give him a new clothes, we'll give him a haircut, or whatever the case might be. So those two songs were two of the real traditional ones which were used. So if you observe in the chorus of Narin's song, we use those two songs to augment the chorus.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Narin, how you find, since you got the song, the feedback, the response, and before you start there, how was your reception? I know Alex said you had a lot of questions, so probably you can let me know.
So when very, very early in the game, after the success of DPP, which was, I mean, a remarkable song, well done, and it really exposed the creativity and the story writing that is embedded in Alex. I mean, Alex reminded me, and it's not to drift, Alex reminded me of when I would go to country with my godfather, a man named Titi, we on a Bedford truck. That was my recollection of riding on that truck. So when he coined that song, DPP, starting from the country, I said, yeah, Alex knew what he's talking about, and Alex knew how to bring a story and to have, of course, an impactful double meaning. I would say maybe too impactful, last year, too impactful. No. So I'm still recovering from that impact.
19th boy. How many?
Yeah.
9 bullets? 9 of them?
Nine bullets. I actually, my anniversary or sadiversary, I don't think that is an anniversary is when you're celebrating something good. I would now coin a new term, my sadiversary. On the 19th of January was my sadiversary of when my vehicle sustained 9 bullets. Now, shortly thereafter, after couping the road match title, Alex told me, boy, I have the song, That was just about maybe Aprilish, maybe going into Easter. Shortly thereafter, Alex told me, I have the song, I don't think he had all 3 verses as yet, but he had sufficient. He had an introduction. Actually, the first stanza was even a bit longer than what it is right now. Correct. So he told me about it. I said, Lavéyé, boy, first time I heard that, Lavéyé. I don't know about that, guys. What is Lavéyé? So then when he explained to me, I said,
you saying that,
Yeah, I said, okay, that is night, this kind of wake thing when people die and they singing. But I come from the closer to the tongue side, so it would not have been in the same format as Alex was known to be experiencing the Lavéyé and the wake in the countryside. So I said, okay, that is making a lot of sense, and what he's trying to accomplish there with regards to all the talks persons have had about Calypso is dying, it's on its deathbed. Persons have said so many things. Even people in high walks of life have pronounced the death of Calypso. So I really saw where he was going. And again, because I was so impressed with the creativity of DPP, I said, no, me and Alex, we had success for our very, very first time. And you said, Alex have been writing for me for some time, but no, Alex wrote for me officially in 2025. We would have bunked ideas. He did help with Jinping Belarus, yes, but that was through collaboration with Peter and another gentleman. But officially writing a song for me from scratch, that was 2025. And I said, no, Alex have what it takes to bring that dynamic of Calypso that people are saying is lacking. The songs are too straight. The songs to this, make it more creative. So I said, I'm going to work with Alex again. That is told me about April, and I like my little song. I remember I said, I will tell you about the likes and the temporary dislike for Lavéyé. So when he explained to me what Lavéyé is and the whole context of Calypso, I said, okay, I can work with that because I know what where he's heading, and I think I can work with it. But to my greatest surprise, in May, my wife fell ill, almost on the brink of death, having suffered a massive, massive, massive stroke. And I told Alex, boy, I feeling awkward, boy, with my wife fighting for her life. And I have to be trying to learn a song, Lavéyé, that speaks of death. And there was a discomfort and understandable. So I could not really give Lavéyé its true attention. But I can tell you, Candida always loved the song because anything I get, I send in it, and it's two of us that learning our song. She have to have the paper, and I sing it on the paper, and so we go in. So as soon as I realized Candida was making signs for the better, I said, Alex, we back in business. I said, Candida, I can sing that. No, she told me, yes, yes, she give me the sign. And then I just said, Alex, we back in full swing with our song, and then the rest is history. Yes, I expect people just like me who have not been exposed to the concept of Lavéyé, even judges. And I'm happy we're having this program here so they can not be influenced because you judge me based on what I come and present on the night. But at least you will be able to judge me based on the real true meaning of what a Lavéyé is and determine based on what I'm presenting if it's in keeping with what a Lavéyé is supposed to be. So, yes, the song has been released, and I've gotten persons to enjoy the song, but at the same time, I've gotten persons to say, what is a Lavéyé? Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that Lavéyé. And then when I go into, okay, what Lavéyé is about the 9 nights and the wake and how it would have happened before and the celebrations and whatnot, people more and more, those who were having difficulties understanding the Lavéyé concept are gradually appreciating it for what it is. So, like DPP, I am enjoying my song. When I like a song, it's like I like the song. As a matter of fact, you see that felt that I have there? I say, Alex, I bind all my felts at one time because Lavéyé business, and me, I'm a man. I just prepare in advance. My bag for quarterfinals was probably prepared 3 weeks in advance. I just had to pick it up
That's
and
correct.
go.
That's
I
correct.
tell Alex, and my clothes is almost ready for quarters. I just have to iron it and make sure it crisp.
Them is.
I told for semis, yes, semis, because we pass quarters, flying colors, we pass quarters, so in semis. So I told Alex, yes, that is what I see in Lavéyé. I prepared my wardrobe already because that's how serious I take the Calypso art form. And I take every aspect that I am exposed to in Calypso, whether it's the management, administration, or whatever it is, or performing, I go out there and I give it my all. I don't claim to be a songbird like the Tasha P's and the Dice and whatnot, but in Calypso, it's not a singing competition, but a song competition. And I wish that feature could stay in the minds of even the judges and whatnot. So I'm prepared. with all my fail start, all my whatever that I need, and I continue to just reach out to Alex. Alex, I'm thinking of that. And that's the kind of a relationship we have. He'll tell me, boy, Narin boy, no, I don't think you should do that. I mean, sometime I just take my chances and just do what I want, and then after I'll say, Alex, boy, do that, and then tell me, boy, Narin, if you tell me that, I'll tell you. You know, so he's a guy I have gotten to really develop a strong relationship with. I mean, even when I doing some of my Narin show, I would say, Alex, you think I should tackle that now, boy? You think I should? And I know he would not give me feedback that I want to hear, but he would be real with me, and we have that open dialogue. So, Alex, brother, I give you your flowers as usual. I always giving him his flowers, but now that we're on that show there, I want to let you know that I truly appreciate that you identify me to be the vessel, the conduit of the talent that you have. And I want to encourage you to continue writing Calypso. Continue writing Calypso. I want to get a song from you next year and the long haul until when until when I take out that and I put a crown on my head with your song.
So, that means this year you're looking for that crown, way?
Oh yes. I have moved from the comedy aspect of not worried and taking that thing very seriously. Even if I come across, and Alex is very right, because I think Alex studies me very closely. You may see me laughing and giggling about a matter, but it's very serious. I choose to bring out certain matters in a certain way that I can capture the intended audience attention. So yes, you may see me do whether it's a red card, whether it's a this, whether it's a that. You may see me doing something that may seem to be comical, but really and truly, when you remove that C in comic, you have an O. It's very objective.
But,
Yeah.
but the thing about comedy, because I'm a comedian, that's how I got introduced to show business. And there's nothing wrong. You make no apologies for being a comedian. It is very hard. Comedy is very hard work. Franklin Moses and Val Coffey, Peter Pross can tell you comedy is not easy. To be able to make people laugh, to be able to create satire that gets the whole crowd going is hard work. And comedians are top-notch people. Look at the people who are most successful around the world are comedians. So there is nothing wrong. You don't have to make an apology for being someone with comedic flair or satirical elegance. You don't have to. That's an asset.
No, but I was making. But Alex, I was making it. The point I was making is it refers to how I looked at Calypso back then.
Okay.
I just see myself gallivanting on the stage. I can never forget the first day I come and sing Stressing Me. The band was in Capuchin and I was in Scotts Head somewhere.
No, you have made the Calypso business a business, and that is what I like.
Yes.
Because Narin and I talk about money too in the business. That's a business. That's why we're talking here, trying to market and promote and sell the song. I mean, there should be no illusions about that. This is a serious business. And until and unless every Calypsonian treats Calypso as a business, as Narin is treating it, the Calypso business will continue to dwindle. So Narin is he has a very good idea when it comes to what he wants in the business of Calypso. And I think people like Daddy Chess as well. I mean, I can call his name Bob, Webb, Sandy, who is another artist I wrote for this year, Joy. I can call it names. I mean, Mystery. I've not met Mystery in person, but Mystery has something about her that is, I don't want to use an adjective people may misquote, but she's someone who, she's like a chameleon. She can change and turn on a dime. And I've kind of been studying her too. She's an interesting kind of a character. And that's not an endorsement or anything taken away from her. It is just somebody that I see as well who can mix and match and see the business as a business. And I can call a few other Calypsonians who see Calypso as a business. But for sure, Narin and this young lady called Sandy, they see Calypso business as a business, not just for money, but as an art to package themselves properly so that people take them seriously. So that is why we're on this program, mainly because some people has issues with the Lavéyé concept. And I felt it best probably to come out there and just have a little conversation with Narin and Carlos so we can deal with all the issues all at once, and we start on a clean slate from the semifinals. If Narin makes it to the finals or not, it really doesn't matter. We believe, well, it matters. I would like him to go. But we will not hold it against anybody. But we owe it to the Calypso and to the business to explain those confusing areas so that the patrons and maybe judges too have a better understanding of what is behind that song of Narin, the Trendsetter Murphy.
Well, guys, it's been 30 minutes since we've been talking, and the conversation is going well. But I must acknowledge some of our viewers and the commenters. I see. I put them on as we going through. I hope that you guys are seeing them. Of course, you have the man Edgar Hunter.
Oh, foi moi. Brother.
Yeah. And we also have the Monarch tuned in as well.
Okay, what did Edgar say? Can you read it? Because I don't want to wear glasses, so I could look too. I don't want to look too much older than you guys. So I don't want to. Oh, you wearing glasses, Carlos? I can put my glasses, man. Lavéyé is raising an awareness of a tradition that took place when someone died. I cannot wait to see how it is presented for the semifinals. That's Edgar Hunter. Hey. Thank you, Edgar. Edgar is right on the money, and it's not just the tradition or of the celebration of the dead, but it's also added to another tradition. So there's 2 layers of traditions happening, and we are working up the myth or the suggestion that Calypso is dying or has died, and using the Lavéyé to say, well, let us celebrate the death, but Calypso is not dead. And we use that, and the lyrics actually said that. So for the person who said, well, what is that? Lavéyé are dead, and Calypso not dead. Well, if you listen to the lyrics, as you will on this program, you'll understand that the singer is using a lot of pun and satire, irony, and metaphors to say, you are pronouncing my death, me mokomo. Calypso still raising his head, his eyes is still open, I am here.
Right. So that is just what I was going to ask you about, because we hear Calypso being mentioned in the we clear on the Lavéyé concept. Well, I was always clear on that. I'm a country person myself, but for some of them Rosso people like Narin, they don't know about the 9-9, no, not the real old school. When Alex talking about that Lavéyé, that was in the times when you die today, you bury tomorrow. Like the song mentioned that.
That's how it starts.
Right. So
I don't know the lyrics off my head, but Narin can narrate the song for you if you want him to narrate it verbally. Or whatever the case might be, verbatim, he can actually narrate it. That's how the song starts. When somebody died and they say défunt, and they say whatever more, or they call him défunt, they bathe them right in the room, right there. There's no inquest, no autopsy, nothing, They bathe them in the room, and the death water, they did something to the water of the dead. They can't dispose of that water just ordinarily. And I don't want to get into the details of where they used to put the water. But the water would be used in certain places after they bathe the person, and then they dress the person, on the bed, put flowers and stuff around them, and they stay there all night long until the next day at 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and they bury them. So that's it. Somebody died on their bed, and most people died on their bed. And if you are the hospital, they come for you, they take you, bring you home, they build a box for you. As soon as you get home, people start cutting the box, and they build the coffin right there. I remember it was Moore who built my great-grandmother's coffin, a dough cassette. So they build that right there for you. They put that right under the window, and the next morning they bring the coffin inside the room. They put you in the box, and then they end up nailing it. It was nails, no screws. Pound, 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 pound. And after the coffin is nailed, they take the coffin out of the house, put it on like a jeep or a transport or whatever, or who carrying the coffin on their head, and then the coffin goes to the burial ground. So that's how it used.
Or the donkey.
Well, I didn't see the donkey. In my time, there was the little lorries, the Land Rovers. and so on. I think, and when my sister died, I remember again, I was like maybe 2 years old when she died. I went to funeral to bury my little sister, Veron, with my mother and whoever else was there. I can't remember anybody else. I remember my uncle Mado, Mas John, was there because he was the one who carried her on his head. He put my little sister coffin on his head. It was a little white coffin with flowers. They take flower and they stick flowers on the coffin. I was sticking for my little sister, so I didn't know she was going to and never come back. But so that's what happened. And Kanku Mado turned the coffin back to front on his head with a little kata or little tosh, and we walked all the way to the cemetery with the coffin on his head. And then when we got to the walks, we got a ride on a vehicle, and he stood up on the vehicle, holding the coffin on his head still. I remember that. And I was a youth. I tell him my sister died when I was 2 years. And I remember that episode as I'm telling you as we speak right now. So sometimes they used to carry the coffin, and sometimes they used to maybe a donkey, but I never saw the donkey. It used to be a Land Rover or maybe a 1-ton vehicle in the day, and some people would stand around the coffin on the vehicle, and some people would maybe walk, and other people would take other vehicles to come up.
Yes, for clarity, I've never been or experienced a Lavéyé, but
Never?
Never. But I've always heard about it, particularly the discussion in the death of my great grandfather, rest his soul. And the description that you gave there of the people and the making of the coffin and bathing the body, dressing, all of that was told to me by my deceased grandmother. We have more comments from persons there. You have a good friend of yours, Alex.
My partner. Oh boy, friend. That's not my friend. That's more than friend. No, Gassa, bro. He is a brother, Gassa. Beyond friendship. Yeah.
And
What he's saying there.
And I suspect he's giving Narin the green light to go to the finals because he's already said that song is making him go to the finals, making him bro him, you know.
No, I want bro him too, because my partner bro him had taken that decision on I'll tell you, on a point of what's the name again he would use now? On what is that? What he told me now? It's like he took a decision on a principle.
Yeah.
Not to be doing Calypso shows. He go to Stardom, but not to the DCA show. And I've been trying to work him to get back there.
I've been begging him.
Bro, him goes to the point J. It would be nice to see him at the semis first and the finals. So, bro, him, please, let's make it happen again because Kaiso need you. We miss you, bro. Him. And I think your protest has been felt. It's almost 10 years, maybe 8 years since you protested. We felt your protest. You were disrespected too many times. And I think the new executive can change things. In fact, I have an idea what we can do together. You, the sign man, the New Calypso Association moving forward. So I apologize on behalf of those who mistreated you, Brahim, the sign man. And let's please come back to the Calypso because Kaiso has missed you. So I hope you come. I hope you come to the service.
I know Brahim in entertainment in two main areas. Kaiso, and what's the other one, Alex? What's the other one? 2 areas you know Brahim mainly. Brahim is a supporter of the arts. Yes.
Kaiso and Calypso, man.
Come on.
Kadas is one of his biggest hobbies. He's like one of the big collectors.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about another thing. Yeah.
Right. And we have another comment here from another viewer, Mrs. Nicole Lavéyé. She's saying Calypso is culture. The song is embedding culture.
In culture.
Culture.
Yeah, so it's culture embedded in culture layered on culture. So we're doing a lot of things with that song that some people maybe didn't get as yet, but after tonight, I think they will get it. So Nicole as well is and I'm happy that she's on with us tonight.
All right, and you have someone named Yannick Perryman saying that you can stay and listen all day. But Yannick, I don't think we're going to stay all night, man. But,
Yeah.
but the guys will tell us a little more about the calypso part or
Mhm.
the Lavéyé, because you
Yeah.
just touch on it. So probably if you can go a little deeper in where you put the Lavéyé into the calypso.
Well, Naren will do most of the actual calypso because I rather his interpretation be used on the program. I'm just here to give context to
Okay.
what we have done. Um, but Nicole said it right that we layer culture on top of culture. We use the wit a little, we use some satire, we use metaphor, we use the irony. So all of the components used in what we think is a wonderful calypso had been used. Um, and I'm very, very confident in the potential of this song. If Narin does not win the crown, it's okay. If he doesn't make finals, we'll work around that. But that song will never die. That song has emerged or it has recreated the condition for us to relook part of Dominica's culture. And as I said, that's a gift that I gave to Narid and to our culture because that's something I remember. That's going back 50 years, going back 50 years. And there has not been any great effort made in either any of the literary form to present that part of our culture. So Narin is doing something very significant that is timely and timeless. This will transcend time. And even if, again, Narin is not rewarded with a crown, but people will have that song to refer to for the next 50 years, long after I would be people like Narin as well might pass on. You never know how long we're going to be here for. But we think in the next 50, 100 years, that song will be a living testimony documenting one of our traditional cultural past.
So Naren, you want to touch for us the calypso married to the Lavéyé aspect?
Yeah. So, as I said, I found the song quite interesting and I would say relevant because there's no doubt Calypso now, if you look at the attendance, even at the 10th versus in the 80s, the 90s, and even the early 2000s, you can see that it is chalk and cheese. Of course, the new generation has gravitated towards another component of music, which is the bouillon and whatnot. But there is still great appreciation for the calypso art form. So persons have been saying calypso dying, it this, it that, and they have basically announced its death. And the song basically is capturing those sentiments that yes, you are claiming calypso to be dead. You are even having a laveille in advance for that cultural component which you consider dead. However, calypso is still alive. We continue to have our shows for the past so many years. I believe in 2028, Calypso will be celebrating 50 years as an individual entity or independent entity. And
Mhm.
persons look forward to Calypso every year. Yes, there is always work to be done. Yes, there is need to improve the writing because when we look at the writers pool back then and the writers pool right now, it's different. Even some of the more prominent writers, like say Mr. Patiron, he don't write as many songs as he would have written before. So persons come up with that notion that calypso is dead. So I think this song is really capturing what people have been saying, but at the same time still reminding that hey, I'm not dead as yet. I still have some life to go. And this is exactly what the song is saying. So yes, it captures the premature death, the early celebrations of the presumed death of Calypso. But when the song ends, or even before the song ends, and I write, go off the stage, Calypso is saying, yes, it's not over. Look, my eyes is open. I have one eyes open. And as long as one eye is open, you can bet your life that my rhythm, my melody, the lyrics are going to continue to flow.
But
So I
but
love my song.
But even before
And
that, it is telling them in the third verse that it has given birth to calypso, to soca, to
yes,
Yeah.
calypso. Again, the same music genre that Brohim is very much into. That is calypso. Cadence Lipso was named after calypso. So Gordon did a song a few months ago that about it, and that's pretty much what it is. Bouillon, the song, the music that we are enjoying so much now, came from the mother calypso. All them the power soca and all those things came from the same rhythm of bouillon. The Denery in St. Lucia came from the same thing. Zouk came from the same element of calypso and calypso. So calypso has fed all those music genres. And what we need to do, I think I had a conversation with Caressa as well. We need to find a way to marry bouillon back into the calypso. And there are people who are criticizing calypso for sounding like its children. You cannot have calypso, chaka, 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 the same old traditional way every time. Calypso has to come with the time. So when Hunter sang Carib Bacchanal and all the songs that night singing, when Powell sang Osama say, all the song are bouillon rise, you have to bring elements of the evolved music inside of the calypso. You cannot only sing pure calypso, authentic calypso every time, because that's where people say, well, it's not as intriguing. So what we did in Narin's case, we bridged, we connected the rhythm, a little calypso rhythm, a lot of steady calypso. We touch a little touch of the bouillon, and we put lyrics on top of that. And that is what. So some people might say, well, oh, it have a bouillon, a Cadas groove, but Cadas is calypso. That's where it came from. Why shouldn't it have that groove? Why must we always sing like Man himself used to sing? Nothing wrong with Man himself, but Man himself always sang on authentic calypso. That's what he would do every year. But since Man himself, everybody else, look at what the Monarch is singing this year. That's a little nice groovy sort of bouillon crossover soca. That's what he's singing.
That has a nice groove.
Yeah, so the calypso has to grow, and that's what we're actually trying to do. And thank God there are artists like Narin who's willing to take the chances, and we're experimenting by reintroducing the culture to the people and putting it on top of the calypso.
Now, when you do those kind of things, permit me to just put a little comment here. You know, making the package, the whole music package, more attractive to the younger persons, and that is exactly what persons like you all are trying to do, because you're trying to improve the interest in the art form.
You're trying to traffic the music in time. You cannot have the music static. You cannot have. One of the things Gordon always told me is Cadas had its epic era. What we do now is evolving the Cadas. Yes, it is nice to listen to an old school Cadas. I know Broim will say, yeah, but old school Cadas cannot remain in the new school. Yes, you preserve it, but then you have to move it a bit. And Gordon would have done that with 2020 and a number of different albums and songs that he has done in time. We like the authentic, we like the original, but the original cannot remain original all the time. In time, you have to give people a bit more. Okay, here's the original, here's a layer on top of it, here's why it is, and you help the original to grow. It would be wrong for those people who are promoting bouillon and promoting all those fete to hurt calypso. In fact, having shows on the same night of calypso at the same time of calypsos, it is a mistake. When I was on the executive, people would not even touch it because Calypso was fighting. Right now, Calypso cannot do what it has to do, and people are taking advantage of Calypso. They're taking all the business from Calypso, and that is not fair. It's not right to the business. So the Calypso people who are doing the business must talk to the fete people and find a way to work with the fete people so that the bouillon can bleed back into the Calypso to help Calypso, because we cannot afford to destroy our Calypso. That's what created everything that we have. And when the mother died, you think bouillon going to stay alive? If you take out Calypso of the picture, bouillon has no reference. So we have to maintain Calypso. All the money Asa Banton and them making, they should give the executive at least $20,000 to help to develop the Calypso, to help to entice young people to get back into the Calypso. I mean, Shelley, Trilogy, all these guys came through Calypso. And it wouldn't be wrong for Shelley to contribute $10,000, although he didn't get his music he didn't get paid for writing his song. And Trilogy could contribute $40,000 because he's making a lot of money now.
Under different circumstances,
they can put that music, that money into promotion for getting younger talent into the Calypso. Again, it's me just suggesting a few things, and But I mean, if Trilogy can't put a 20, he can do at least a 10. Shelly he can do a 10, he can do a 5. But the Bouillon people.
Interestingly, some of the bouillon, I'm hearing a lot of calypso elements in them as of late, particularly in persons like Shelley. Um, it's one of Trilogy songs. Yeah, a couple of them I hear in the writing, you hearing that in them. And to add to that, I think the new executive are now evolving because as commented by today they were on a program and I noticed that one of the person the MC commented that the Calypso show sounds like a more than just a competition. If you didn't know better, you would think it's a fete.
It's a fete. And
so they have now packaged the product a little better and make it a little more enticing for even the younger crowd to be more interested in the product.
Well, Naren can tell you about conversations we were having before the about the fete and everything else, but that's for another conversation. And you strain a partner from our Lavéyé. I know Naren wants to go for his lyrics and to introduce certain things in the lyrics. So don't stray too much, Carlos. Don't try that on us then.
Try
to get content and news there on us then.
And she mentioned you, she says, oh, your friend.
I'm not sure if somebody's playing something in the background, but I'm hearing a very popular voice of a writer. So, Carlos, you're not doing that, Carlos?
No, that would have come from Naren's mic.
Because I'm hearing the voice coming through. I mean, that person is a good friend of mine. I understand he criticized me very severely about my song, but it's just sad when writers criticize writers. I have never seen that happen in the world.
Immaturity would cause that. Naivety would cause these things. When you're excited that you have written a song or two, and you wouldn't really understand the ethics as it relates to writers. And that's a comment I made, Alex, and that is what I had in mind. When I saw your work was being chastised, I said, but no, I've never seen Tim Dura Shonen Man himself, whether at that time it would have been the Sun or the Chronicle. I would have not seen Pateron looking down on this guy who would have written for Scrunter. But I mean, everybody both rocks differently, and sometimes you see things and you just pretend that you didn't see it. So, Carlos,
it didn't phase me in any way, but it's just that it's just something different. I'd never seen this before. And what we do is that, like when I wrote DPP for you, Jacko called me. Jacko said, well, why don't we introduce some of the elements of the work of the DPP? I said, but if we do that, we're unmasking this song. And then he said, yeah. So we confer with each other. We respect each other. Never have I seen anybody diss somebody who has done something in the arts. But again, I guess it's a new way. And
no, it is writing naivety. That's basically how to put it bluntly. Writing naivety and excitement. That's what it is. I mean, we would have seen that naivety expose itself even last year when even the Swinging Stars Orchestra, who has backed up Calypso for several decades, was basically ridiculed. But guess what? This year, it is Swinging Stars 48 Carat Gold that has to back us up again. But again, we can't really tell people how to act, how to behave. So, Carlos, the tradition is that you die today and you bury tomorrow. They also had 9 nights of prayer to drown out the sorrow. People used to sing and cry and pray. They made one big laugh way. And tonight we come to sing and drink Pascal Calypso Ali. They say she dead. The rhythm dread. All she cheer and cry. Water in their eye. So they are already saying that it is over.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lavéyé starts.
So you saw the bridge.
Yeah.
Introduction of the thing, and then what do you line say? They say she dead.
They say she dead.
What's the next line?
The rhythm dread. The rhythm dread. All she cheer and cry. Water in their eye.
And hear what they say.
And boom, you hit them with the Joimo. Look, I buy a Lavéyé. because people have decided it's on a bed there, almost lifeless, although no. And then if you come and you check the heart and the pulse, it is beating,
Pulse.
but maybe they are trying to kill it before its time. They start singing that Lavéyé.
Lagoni, that's the term.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Calypso will not settle for that. You are calling my death prematurely.
So,
I'm not dead, and I
and then
don't
it goes,
intend to be dead.
and then it goes into the second verse.
Yes, I mean, the second verse speaks about pundits, critics, and pessimists, all right, of Calypso. However, Kaiso lovers and practitioners defend every death blow. That is, we, the administrators of Calypso, we are saying no, regardless of what they say, Calypso is going to be there because what? It bring your rhythm in song, Pikong. And you know, Pikong is a good tenant of Calypso in the Calypso melee. You know, so it's a song, as I said, I do not have to be biased, but because I can appreciate the storyline in the song, and because I was embracive of that cultural aspect, which I wasn't familiar with as a young boy, but the way Alex explained that, I wondered how Alex remember his grandmother would wrap him up,
Yeah.
and that time, I mean, you did not have a choice.
Yeah.
They have to sangle you and they have to bring you to the Wabi and you will have to stay there until somebody will rock you. I guess different
Yes.
people will take turns rocking you, rockabye baby or not, you know, and
Yeah.
until the Lavéyé is over.
I used to fall asleep sometimes, and
Yeah,
then mother would carry me home with her under her little thing on the little dew. So next morning, I in
of
my bed.
course.
I in my bed next morning. I went to Lavi. I fell asleep there. I in my bed next morning, and I remember, Naren, I swear to God, I remember those moments. I remember, and of course, as a boy growing up, I used to see it too. But as a little, almost baby, well, not baby, but 18, 2 years old, 18 months, 2 years old, I remember those moments. Yeah. And then the
Yeah.
third verse now, Naren, remind us of the third verse, how we come to the climax of the story.
Oh yeah. As for the third verse, I hear it wasn't a novice. So it wasn't even somebody that wasn't aware of what they were saying. Because when we say a novice, is you are just come. You're not sure, you're unassuming. It wasn't even a novice that proclaimed the diagnosis that Calypso is dead. And people are saying, how, after that particular person say that, how could Calypso return from such grave prognosis?
Yeah.
So she dead, and the rumor spread. What else can be said? What else can be said? You understand? What else can be said, Alex? But her DNA, of
Mhm.
course, with Calypso, Bouillon, Denry, Zouk. It's spread already. So the
Yeah.
Calypso is not dead. Calypso, the fruits of Calypso. And there comes Soca, which followed after. So Joïmo, nous kay bayo lavé, Joïmo, tout moun ke ele, Joïmo, nous kay chate sanke, meta mola. Pass the rum is finishing, sir. The rum is reaching at a point where we need to be replenished. We need to be re-energized.
Who's was la, man? Gosh la.
We, of course. And I mean, Alex, last Friday, I went in a box. I said, Alex, I have something, you know. And I mean, when we
Yeah.
go to the finals, we're just going to relive that whole Lavéyé.
It's
You,
it.
I mean, the people are going to come there in a full Lavéyé mood. But we will not be celebrating the death of Calypso. We will be celebrating the forever existence of Calypso.
And the
And that is what the
Lavi, of
song is
course,
about.
and the Lavi, of course, is used in different ways. Certainly
Yes.
as a pun, and also satirical as well. So again, for people who understand and like story, I remember my brother Alwyn Bully. Oh gosh, I wish he was here today. He would better explain that. He would, because he is the one who taught me writing and storytelling, and he used to practice this thing called dramaturgy. And he taught me to be a dramaturge So he would show me the elements of writing, how you connect stories, especially cultural writing. So
But
that's it.
Alex, without tripping you, I was saying, a gentleman that would also be able to tell us a lot more about the Lavéyé, our historian, Lennox Church.
Oh yeah, put him on live
Yeah,
now, Carlos. Get him.
yeah,
Put him on live now.
yeah,
We shall
yeah,
invite him tonight, man.
yeah,
Partner,
yes, yeah,
It's my
yeah.
partner,
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, he's a very resourceful guy. I mean, I have reached out to him a certain information that I want to know about back in the days, whether how many political seats, how many constituencies it started off with. I would reach out and the man just spits out those information as if, he have that at the back of his head.
He does.
So I know he would be a good person that could really speak to the whole Lavéyé concept. And as I said, that is our tradition. That is our culture. And I really have no problems presenting that aspect of our Dominican history in Calypso. I really have no problem. And if I had to take another song, I would go back and take Lavéyé.
Amen.
So it had other songs then?
Of course.
Oh, but you mean you madman? We have songs behind song that have songs. But I
go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ensure that I was part of the recreation of history. I wanted when the history books are written, that Lavéyé concept that may have skipped several generations, it was reintroduced in 2026 by yours truly with a song Pen by Alex Powell Bruno.
But
I wanted to be a part. I wanted to be a part of that.
Your song, the performer is your song. I mean, the writer is just the vessel.
No, I like to be fair, Alex. I like to be fair. That some people they hide in the writer on the table. You don't know who that contribute. No, the song I have is Alex that write it. Yeah. It was Alex's idea, and I bought into the idea, and I'm having fun with the song that Alex wrote. And don't tell Alex. Don't tell no. Alex, I don't want to make you blush there. And I don't want your cheeks to get red. But Carlos, you remember the song? You remember this big song, Caressa?
Yes.
Of Luga. Who you think that write that? Yes, it was Saru idea. Yes, it was Saru idea. Just like DPP was Saru idea. But it is one thing to have an idea and to move that from an idea to a hit calypso. That is where Alex coming in. Yeah. So Alex,
and an idea just as a title and no lines, just an idea. But I create things. That's what I do, and not just that song, because I listen to Lugas telling Ribbon Blackmore that he thought of this song and he wrote this song and Peter helped him. I'm saying, really? And Sarah did the same thing with Peter Pross and Oprah. I'm like, but Sarah, and then he said, yeah, man, Powell, man, I was excited, man. I'm like, but okay. So I doesn't really fuss for credit. Even Queen Show contestants, I wrote talent for, and then the talent coordinator saying, Alex, help. I wrote the talent. I directed everything, but I'm not in this for glory, man. I'm just contributing. And I'm happy that Naren is actually doing what he's doing, but Naren, you don't have to do that. It's your song, and it's your song. Go and have fun with your song. It's your song.
It's our song, it's our song.
I'm enjoying the camaraderie here.
My success is your success.
We have gone in an hour so far. I don't want our viewers to get bored.
Yeah.
But before we close, I want you all to respond to a few of the comments before we go further. Of course, you have Yannick, who said that this was important. He would have never known. Brother Brohim always say that the music evolves. I think that's when we were talking about the difference in the music now and then. And Edgar as well is saying that calendar rhythm. That's one of the popular songs from the yes, it's a Buyo Calypso.
Yeah.
And Brohim is also saying that it shows that you are doing something good. Can you guys play? Oh, Ambrose Blah is asking us to play this song before we close. Well, Ambrose, we are going to play this song in its entirety when we end. But of course, we want all of you to stay here till the end of the program. The song will be played in its entirety before the live ends. So stay tuned for that. Any last words before we wrap up, guys, as we wrap up?
I don't know. I need to
Well,
boss.
I'll leave the chief for last. But again, as I nothing beats expressing gratitude. Alex, thank you very much again. Carlos, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to the Calypso patrons. Thank you for the Calypsonians who have allowed me to serve them as to the best of my ability. Yes, we may have fought from time to time, but I truly had the art form and its well-being on the front burner. We move into the semifinals. I ask you to continue supporting me. I ask the judges to judge the performance, don't judge the individual. There's always been this misconceived notion that, sometimes you come with points in your pocket. I'm saying, no, you don't do that. You come there and you judge the show based on the merits and the performance of the night. Calypso is carnival, carnival is calypso. I see them going hand in hand for a very long time. And as I end, I always encourage people to have an incident-free carnival. If you are drinking your wabi, you ensure you do it in moderation. When you believe you have reached your point, that you cannot go any further, you stop and you start drinking water. Thank you very much, guys.
Wise words of advice from the man Trendsetter. Now, Mr. Powell, before we close.
Hey, partner. Well, when I was in my 20s and 30s, people like me in their 50s, I would call them elders. So I would like to accept that honor as an elder, Carlos. There's nothing wrong in growing older because some people think they're not growing older. But I accept it because I remember when I was younger, people in their 50s would be elders to me. So I'm accepting this honorable title and I'm giving as much as I can, as much as people want of me. And my responsibility as someone who has lived enough life is to be responsible and true to what I do. I may not have been a perfect person, probably I'm still not perfect, but I have experience and I'm trying to make do with the opportunities that I have. So I'm happy to be able to offer something to Naren and anyone who comes to me to assist. I'm helping a young lady as well for the Queen pageant this year for like a Calypso. So that's what I want to do, to live out the rest of my life, giving as much as I can. I'm not in any way, shape, or form, but I think because respect is given to me, I must give that much back to the society and to the community. I just wish that the partisanship and the politics would not stand in people like me way of giving. Because on many occasions, I feel as if I'm not allowed to contribute because of my perceived political difference with the political directorate. And that is very sad. Very, very sad. I see people who are in my age group getting all sorts of honors and awards and opportunities to excel in their field. It's like I don't exist. I'm not asking for people to do me any favors. I just want to help. And I think nothing should stand in my way of giving as much as I can. I've never worked for culture and charged money. Ask Raymond Lawrence, he will tell you. All the work I've done for culture over the years, I've never charged. It has always been work for our culture, and I will pledge to continue working for culture with no pay. So please use me in any way you can use me, and let us just make Dominica the kind of community country that we had been before the politics messed things up. I can be political, I can be partisan, but you should not be at odds with me in terms of my skills and my talents and the contributions that I'm willing to make for my country. So that will be my final word. And of course, like Naren said, have a safe, spiritual carnival. Please stay away from the violence. As you can see every now and then, Carlos, I'm tearing up because I'm mourning still. And that Lavéyé thing is in me because I lost my son just a few months ago. And it's tough. It's tough dealing with a loss like mine. And I guess parents who have lost children can speak about that. But it takes a lot for me to be offering publicly as I'm offering now. It really takes a lot. Because as you observe, I have not really been doing much public performances, appearances, and it's because of my personal situation in life. And but I'm willing to give. And I do not know when I'm going to stop giving, but at least while I'm willing, I'm asking Dominicans to take. One of the things I would like much people to take more from me as well is my skills as an MC. I mean, Maja is doing it, but I want to see more presenters step up, because Val and I, we may not be doing this for very long again. Because even if I have life and strength, I'm losing taste for a lot of things I used to do. I might do a calypso show or two, maybe, you never know. But there might be a day when I just decide not doing any of that. So while I can, and I'm willing to, Dominicans take advantage of it, because nothing lasts forever. And thank you so much, Carlos, for moderating. Thank you so much, Naren, for believing in me and for joining me here tonight. I'm hoping that the listening public take something positive out of our program.
I suspect Naren may have to nominate you for meritorious service award.
No, I'm not meritorious. Any award. I don't want an award anyway. I'm just saying, like, who have done things that I would have done, people I partnered with, getting Golden Drum National Award all the time. I'm not saying that I want it. I'm not asking for it, but I'm just observing and I'm asking why. You know, and I guess maybe it's my politics, maybe it's my ways. I don't know. Again, I'm not asking for any benefit. I'm just being the usual me, just to say things that I see. Because if at my age I cannot say what I see and what I feel, I will never be able to say it. So let me say what I see, and that's what I see. And I
But Alex say you don't want it, so give it to Naren on his behalf.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not asking for anything, because an honor does not make me. I don't work for honor. I don't work for honor. I work with honor. So it doesn't matter what they put on my head or not. My work,
Yes.
my work will stand the test of time.
And Naren, I must say, before you comment there, I must say the song shows a little more maturity on your part as compared to some of the songs that you would have presented before.
Mustafa Sally and Cock.
But that is maturity too, you know. That's nothing wrong with that, you know. These songs are great as well, you know. It's just a different type of song.
I'm not saying the song is not good. The songs are not good. I'm just saying, but the Lavéyé song is a very serious song. And I must give you kudos for the way that you present it. All right.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I was just letting Alex know that, you know, Alex, I found one of the old school. That is probably about 60 years. That's when you would put your little wine or wabiu. So Alex,
you know what's that? You know what's the name of that?
No, I don't know the name.
I'll tell you.
That little bottle there?
Yeah, it's a decanter.
Decanter, but I have that.
Yeah, and I have them in varying sizes. So that's why I said
I want one, Naren. I want one.
When we go to the finals, it's gonna be Band Max. So Alex, I know you deserve your award. You're not taking it, but I think you're a man people have underestimated in terms of your love, your natural love for Dominica, your natural love for the right way of doing things. And on that being said, the only thing I can do now, I cannot give you a bouquet. I haven't won the crown money as yet. I can just take a wabiyu on your head. So Alex, cheers to you, my partner.
No problem.
Wabiyu. Calypso.
That decanter brought me back when my grandmother used to send me by my NS shop as a little boy to buy rum. In the country, no matter, you hang out to be of age, and no matter what, she put it in a brown plastic bag, the little decanter, and I used to go and buy a half gin rum for my grandmother. And a decanter, boy.
Yeah, but I think those things belong to my mother-in-law. Candidate's mom, yeah, we have that. We have her China wear. So we really had to sing Lavéyé.
Yes,
because we have all the Lavéyé business there. We're just waiting to give it to the public.
Yes,
just waiting to let it go. Yeah.
I have this one and another one at home there. And every time my partner Kenty comes home, he wants to thief that.
What?
Yeah.
Yes,
I think the decanter gives the rum a different flavor too.
boy, let me tell you now.
Yeah.
It
Easy.
shows a bit more class.
What
Yeah.
you
It doesn't.
talking about, my boy? Look, what you talking about, my partner? I tell you, we ready, no, Alex. The flash is there. The wabio is there. Everything is there. We're just waiting for the signal
Yeah.
to have a nostalgic 2026
All right,
Calypso
guys.
final. Yeah. Bless.
But now I want that song to make it to the finals, because
Well,
I
He
can
has to
just
perform with.
imagine with with your the way that you can carry you because you're an actor, and
yeah.
Alex is the perfect director. So with those two together, I think the patrons would be in for a ball
Yeah.
of a time. For him,
And Carlos,
I
I'm
know
singing
you
in the first half. I'm singing in the first half
For the semis.
you see it.
of the for the semis. I'm singing in the first half.
Oh,
Yeah.
I put you I done gone you in the finals already. I want Brahim to reach
No,
the
don't tell
final.
him that. Don't tell him that. He has to go and perform on Saturday on
And
this
people-
on the semis. It's on the night. He can do all his talking there tonight there. And
Yeah.
I know the public understand a bit better. But you're not being judged tonight. You're being judged
No.
on the 31st. And that's where you have to show yourself. I've seen people go in there and people who they think were sure bet fell in the semis, and people who they think was marginal make. Kaiso is a very, very funny art. Like on the night, if you don't crack, if it didn't spark for you, you can fall flat. So I tell all the Calypsonians, get ready, preserve your voice, promote, practice, stay fit, because it's the fittest on the night that stands. It's the 9 best performers on the night that will go to the finals. And I have 2 horses in the ring. I have Sandy and Trendsetter. Of course, I support everybody else, but I believe we will have 2 people in the finals from our camp. I honestly believe so.
And my dear sister Joyce Stout will be waiting for all you.
Yeah.
Joyce,
Big up the monarch, man. Big up the monarch. Big up the
you have
monarch.
to
You know,
be Joyce
I had
Stout.
no choice but to play the monarch song this morning. No choice. And I did that. I mean, Joy and I go way back. Even before Joy started singing Calypso, Joy would back up my little songs and them. You Lie on the Man and this and that. And, so, and of course, Hunter, Derek St. Rose, a lot of people don't know, boy.
That's my cosmate.
There's something about me. People think I just appear in Calypso like that. Guys, the reason why I end up in Calypso is a shy map where I went to give somebody, and I got stuck. In 2008, I went to send a power wall. And so many years after, I've seen myself grow in the art form and, importantly, manage the art form in what I would consider a very prudent and financially savvy manner. Just from that one appearance to send a little fear. You're young and you might be childish to an extent. And I have seen that grow and grow and grow. And look, I'm a king. When the records are written, you will write King Trendsetter, Road Match King for 2025.
Yeah.
As the and
All
also
right.
the only Calypso who have suffered like I've suffered. But that is a show that we can have. But thanks again, Carlos.
I took the liberty to glance at there's a lot of people on that program on Carlos and a lot of comments, man. Carlos, you've been very selective with the comments you put up. There's a lot of people on that program. That's a big program, man.
Yeah. But you have a big man on that program. Don't forget everyone estimate to the man you have on that program,
Who's that?
And when you have Alex Bruno.
I thought it's you. It's you. Yeah,
So that just shows Alex, when we come and we combine our efforts together.
Yeah.
Whether for Calypso, whether for national development, I mean, we will be embraced.
Yeah, man. And we're too much of a small country for us to be so divided, man. And I mean, Calypso is supposed to unite us. Yes, people will sing and pelt the bouncers that politicians, so what? Rabbit sing, marry the girl Charlie, and the person that was the target of the song was dancing to the song. I think we have gotten a bit personal. We have tried to box Calypso into a box. Only don't sing party, don't sing political, sing social. But Calypso is political too, and politically social. As long as it is treated well, I always say treat it well. If you're going to sing on a politician, kind of dress it nicely, because the way you can sing about me, you should not sing that way about the prime minister. That does not mean he's better than me. But people in office, in positions in society, Calypso finds a way to give them what they do. People say I did that in DPP. I do not know. I don't know. I wrote a song, but you
didn't write a song that I asked you to write, Alex.
No, I wrote a song that I was moved to write. And my advocacy for writers is that's kind of find ways, because Kaiso gives us certain tools. Let's use all the tools Kaiso gives us. And if you're going to say something about somebody in high society, find a way to say it that is not too crude and distasteful.
Yeah. Of course, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Calypso must not be used to fight your battle. It must not be used as no vengeance. Yes, the people who are in political office, they are expected to be criticized, but you have to still remember that is a human being out there. That is a person with children. That is a person with a mother. That is the person, so you cannot just go calling the person kind of name, or you cannot just bring in a certain aspect of the person's life, whether true or false, that the person may not even have had anything to do with.
Find a way.
I have always had an issue with that. Sing the ready-made jackets. Sing the song that, the person can just watch back and smile and say, boy, mister, not easy here, boy. Yeah. But don't let it be as if you're daggering a sword in a wound. Yeah. Poetic language, Alex. Yeah, I learned from you.
Yeah, like I think when Trilogy, who I worked with, and a good friend of mine as well, and Father John worked with, tried to mold him, and he was very well molded, Kaiso-wise. And that has helped him now to evolve. It's a gentleman I like a lot. He sang Dictatorship, and he also sang Boycott.
The Boycott, yeah.
This guy was the hardest politically hitting Calypsonian of his time.
Yeah.
And I was told that the Prime Minister loved his songs.
Well, I heard him said it for himself.
Right? Again, the treatment. Breaks and I, and the person who would remain unmentioned, told him, you do not do those things in song. Here's how you dress it. And I didn't hear the PM said it, but I was told that he would love the song. And that's hit him the hardest. Maybe in the past recent years. So that is what I'm saying, the treatment. And he won the crown that year. So it's the treatment that you give to the Calypso, and writing has a lot to do. Sometimes little tweaks make the song a classic. And that's all I'm asking for. Let's respect people. Let's hit them hard, but let's find a way to hit them. So you get them dancing with the blows that they get. They're feeling the pain, but they're smiling under the pain. That's what Calypso does.
Is that a hint of what we can expect from song number 2? Ladies and gentlemen, viewers and listeners, thank you very much for tuning in. As we end, let me give you all the opportunity to listen to the Lavéyé song in its entirety. Alex and Trendsetter, Mr. Bruno and Mr. Murphy, thank you guys for your time. I would love to do this similar program in the future another time.
Yeah, we should.
Anytime you're ready, my partner.
And other writers and Calypsonians should do the same, because somebody suggested on the live as well that there should be more of that being done. So I would encourage other Calypsonians and writers to engage the public and sell their product and explain it to them. Let them know what's happening, what was in the mind of the writer, of the singer, and that would help the business. It would help to promote the show as well, Carlos.
And I just putting it out there. If you all need assistance in putting it together, call me. I'll help you all.
No, you create the platform and invite them. You make the business. You, Carlos, should do the business. Please bring them in. That's what you should do. You sort man. Get advertising and stuff like that. Make at least $10,000 for the season doing that program. So you should do it.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good night, sir. Good night, sir.
Lavéyé, metamola, 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 metamola. Lavéyé, Lavéyé, metamola, 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 pase womla.
Wabio, Calypso. Wabio, Calypso. The tradition was that you die today and bury tomorrow. They also had 9 nights of prayer to drown out the sorrow. People used to sing and cry and pray. They made one big laugh way. And tonight we come to sing and drink Basque Calypso Ali. They say she dead, the rhythm dread. All chitter and cry, water in their eye. And they cry, look at by your Lavéyé, tout moun kele, look at chate sanke. Please hug somebody, metamola, 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 passe womla, metamola, metamola, Lavéyé, 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 Lavéyé pour Calypso, Wabio, Calypso, Wabio, Calypso. Pundits, critics and pessimists all right of Calypso. Calypso lovers and practitioners defend every death blow. Story in song, rhythm and become in the Calypso melee. Follow my commands and if you can join in the wailing. The more we push back, Kai's under attack. No time to skylark, put Kai's back on track. But they cry, look at by your Lavéyé, tout moun kele, look at chate sanke. Please hug somebody, metamola, 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 passe womla, metamola, metamola, Lavéyé, 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 Lavéyé pour Calypso, Wabio, Calypso, Wabio, Calypso. It wasn't a novice that proclaimed the diagnosis. How could Calypso return from such grave prognosis? So she dead and the rumor spread. What else can be said? But that DNA don't make it way, so the Calypso not dead. Kada slip so, the fruits of Calypso, and there is soca, which followed after. But they cry, look at by your Lavéyé, tout moun kele, look at chate sanke. Please hug somebody, metamola, 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 passe womla, metamola, metamola, Lavéyé, 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 Lavéyé pour Calypso, Wabio, Calypso, Wabio, Calypso. Kai's pas comment, c'est sa moi disant, je give up to bouillon, soup can riannement, Calypso not dead, look she raise she head, what else can I say, moi même fait côtoyer, Wabio, oh oh oh, Calypso, Wabio, oh oh oh, Calypso, oh oh oh. Calypso shall never die.